Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press on January 6, 2014. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspaper, posted on public bulletin boards and the Township website.
At this time, please turn off all cell phones. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Here.
Vice President Fosman.
Here.
President Leidecker.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call our Chief of Police up. And the Mayor, please. Flag. Oh, I already crossed it off. My apologies. I would actually recognize Councilman Moore. We have some special guests here for the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you like to introduce them, please?
Sure. I go out. Am I going down the floor? Thanks.
Yes, please.
This is one of our coach. Come on up here, coach. This is one of our rec teams, our 12-year-old rec teams here in town, and I'm also the coach here too. So, guys, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys lead it.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, now at this time, I'd like to proceed with the police promotions, please.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Before I get started, I'd like to recognize someone in the audience tonight. Retired Chief Ronald Dugard's here with us tonight. Chief. As the Council President said, we have two promotions tonight. The first promotion is Lieutenant Stephen Gerling, badge number 148. Lieutenant Gerling graduated Brick High School in 1989 and has earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Richard Stockton College. Lieutenant Gerling began his career with this department in January 1995. As a patrolman, he was a field training officer and a canine handler. He was promoted to sergeant in 2006. As a sergeant, he supervised a patrol squad and has been the canine unit commander for 6 years. Lieutenant Gerling received the Lieutenant Thomas McNellis Leadership and Achievement Award in 2009. He has earned 2 life-saving medals, 2 meritorious service medals, 3 honorable service medals, and 4 Grand Cordon medals. Lieutenant Gerling has been a volunteer firefighter with the Bretton Woods Fire Company for 24 years and has volunteered his time as a Little League coach in town. Lieutenant Gerling will be assigned as the day shift commander in the Patrol Bureau. And here tonight with him are his wife, Caitlin, and sons, Keegan and Riley. And Lieutenant, would you and your family come up to be sworn in? Our next promotion tonight is Captain Ronald Dugard, badge number 150. Captain Dugard is a 1988 graduate of Brick Memorial High School. He served in the United States Navy from 1988 through 1992. Captain Dugard began his career with this department in May of 1993 as a special police officer. In January 1995, he was sworn in as a regular police officer. He has worked as a detective in the Drug Enforcement Unit and the Detective Bureau. In 2002, he was promoted to sergeant and has supervised squads on all 3 shifts. In 2007, Captain Dugard was promoted to lieutenant. He has served as the Deputy Administrative Service Division Commander and a Patrol Bureau Shift Commander. Captain Dugard has earned 2 life-saving medals and 3 Grand Cordon medals. Here tonight with him are his wife Kelly, his daughter Maggie, and his sons Jack and Matt, and also his father, retired Chief Ron Dugard Sr. And Captain, would you please come up with your family? Thank you. Before I close, I want to thank the mayor and the council for recognizing the importance of these promotions and getting them on the agenda during a very busy transition period. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and thank you.
We have one addition to our agenda, which would be 3D, authorized appointment of the tax assessor. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, I'm asking the council to please authorize the appointment of a new tax assessor who would be Irene Raftery. She's a very dedicated employee. She's exceedingly knowledgeable with regards to New Jersey's tax assessment laws and regulations, and it's an appointment that is well-deserved and long overdue. So I'd ask if you please rise so everybody can congratulate you properly. And we are going to ask you to please do a presentation at the next council meeting, as you well know, to let us know what's going on in the tax assessor's world, especially with Sandy and the effects that it has on our entire town and everything. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Moving on to the consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. We'll begin with Resolution 4-1, authorize amendment to the temporary budget. I'd like to ask our business administrator to explain and address this.
If I may, Council President, I think what you should do here is you've added a resolution to authorize the appointment of a tax assessor. That needs to be done by a formal resolution. It's not on the consent agenda, so I would suggest that before you get to the consent agenda, you take a motion, a second, and a roll call vote on that resolution.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilman Moore, seconded by Councilwoman DeYoung. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero.
Yes.
Vice President Fosman.
Yes.
President Leidecker.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Again. Okay, are we prepared for Resolution 4-1? Thank you.
This resolution authorizes the extension of the temporary budget for the first 90 days of any operating year. Law permits an extension not to exceed 26.25% of the prior year's appropriations, and this one will not exceed that amount. We're asking that the council approve this resolution so we can go through with the day-to-day business of the township until a budget is formally adopted.
Do any of the council members have any questions about this particular resolution? Okay. Moving on to Resolution 4-2, authorize receipt of bids for the municipal court debt collection. This is a part of the mayor's 100-day plan, and I would ask that he please address this.
Yes, thank you. Number 14 on my 100-day plan spoke about the fact that there's over $650,000 worth of unpaid fines in our municipal court system. So what this resolution will do, if passed, it will authorize the town to receive bids with regards to a collection service who can go after those unpaid fines. So it's a lot of money that's out there, and hopefully we'll be able to collect it and help us out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Resolution 4-3, authorize purchase agent to enter into contracts for purchases and services with certain vendors under county contract. What this basically does is allow the purchasing agent to authorize to enter into agreements on behalf of the township for the performance of work or the furnishing of materials, equipment, or supplies for specific items in the applicable county contract from the vendor of record. Resolution 4-4, authorize award of bid of the janitorial supplies. Sealed bids were received by the Division of Purchasing and Contracting for the purchase of these janitorial supplies. The bids were reviewed by the Director of Public Works. There are 3 bids that we did accept. The first one is Clean Lake Pros in Toms River, General Linen in Point Pleasant, and Interborough Packaging Corporation in Montgomery, New York. It is a 2-year contract beginning February 4th, ending February 3rd, 2016. The prices shall remain fixed for the term of the agreement, and they will not exceed $30,000 per year. There were 43 bidders, 10 were received. 43 bidders were notified. 10 of those bidders received packages, and 5 were received. This contract only covers the supplies for the cleaning chemicals, but we do provide the remaining supplies. Resolution 4-5, authorize execution of Schedule C agreement with County of Ocean. This is an interlocal services act that authorizes the Township of Brick to enter into a contract for the provisions of certain government services with the county. We will authorize the execution of a contract with Ocean County for the provision of services, materials, and equipment set forth in Schedule C. And it allows that Scott Pizzaris, the business administrator, and Lynette Iannarone, our clerk, to authorize the Schedule C agreement for the provisions of Schedule C to include $200,000 for the road department, $25,000 for the engineering department, $25,000 for vehicle services for a sum not to exceed $250,000. This agreement period is from January 1st, 2014 to December 31st, 2014. What this does is allow us to spend money through the county to mow the plant growth along the highways in Brick, as well as the easements and such, plowing snow on local government roads or property, purchase materials and supplies for the maintenance of our roads, to sweep our roads, overlay of roads, and things like that. Resolution 4-6, authorize change order number 1 final for beach restoration and dune reconstruction activities. Okay. The contract is issued to BGM Construction, and it's a decrease in the contract by $220.40. The original contract price was $261,750. It will now be $261,529.60. Where that $220.40 came from, there was a decrease in the removal and the screening of the beach sand, and there was an increase in the excavation, and that's where that $220 came from. Resolution 7, authorize acceptance of name change for the insurance broker and consultant. On January 1st, we awarded a contract to Berger Financial Group, doing business as Creative Financial Group of New Jersey, and they are our insurance broker and our consultant. They assist the township with the solicitation of bids and proposals for the township employee vision and dental and health benefits. They have recently changed their name to Creative Financial Group of New Jersey. It does not change the contract at all except for the name. The term of the contract will expire on December 31st, 2014. Resolution 4-8 authorizes substitution of vendor for Chapter 75 statutory notification. What this resolution states is that every assessor prior to February 1st shall notify by mail each taxpayer of the current assessment and the preceding year's taxes. In December of 2013, we gave informal proposals were received by the Division of Purchasing and Contracting for the Chapter 75 Notice of Assessment. The lowest proposal, Jarvis Direct Mail, received that bid, but unfortunately, due to family circumstances, they're not able to perform the contract. So we're giving it to the next lowest bidder, which is Advanced Computer Concepts, trading as Trek. So that's what this does. We take our postage check, instead of going to Jarvis, we'll now go to this new company, Advanced Computer Concepts. Resolution 4-9, support the implementation of the Property Tax Reward Program. Again, another item on Mayor Ducey's 100-day plan, which we are blowing through, thankfully. Could you address this for us, Mayor, please?
Sure, thank you. Number 35 on the 100-day plan was to formulate a plan to encourage residents to shop and dine locally. If the council does approve the property tax reward program, it's basically everybody's given a rewards card like you get at CVS or ShopRite. When you dine or shop locally with a vendor in town that's part of the program, you get whatever discount is offered by the vendor towards your property taxes. So, for example, if a restaurant says, I wish to be part of this program and I'm going to offer a 10% discount to people, you go into that restaurant, you spend $100 for your meal, you would still pay the $100 as a resident. The business would then take $90 and put it into the, wherever they put it into, and then $10 goes towards the program. And then what will happen is in the third quarter on your property tax bill, you will see a credit for $7.50 off your property taxes. So the company who administers the entire program, they actually get the $2.50. That's why it's a difference between the $10 that you pay and the $7.50 on your bill. But it encourages everybody to spend your money here in Brick. The Chamber of Commerce always promotes the fact that if every dollar that's spent in Brick, another $4 is generated because people just keep on spending locally. So by keeping money in Brick, we're able to expand our businesses that are already here, bring new businesses into town who want to be part of this program, and everybody gets to see a break on your property taxes. So the more you spend in Brick, the lower your property taxes are. Thank you.
Thank you. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Real quick, Council President Leidecker, our original resolution, it says Economic Development Commission. I believe it was changed to committee, correct? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Resolution 410, authorize award of one-year contract to the Animal Pounds and Control Services. Since the agenda has been put out publicly, there has been a revision to the contract. I would ask that our attorney or business administrator address that.
Sure. What happened with this contract is we had been back and forth once the new proposal was given to us by Jersey Shore Animal Shelter. We negotiated that down with no change in services to $258,715. The $7,000 additional provides for the 24/7 service that we currently receive from the Jersey Shore Animal Shelter. Under this provision for the $251,715, they were only going to be open till 8 o'clock. The residents have enjoyed the service through the years of having 24/365 service, and we felt it was appropriate to provide that service for this contract. This contract's in place for 1 year, and Mayor Ducey and the council is going to be looking at different ways to possibly provide these services, and have tasked me with going out and getting comparisons from other towns, and we're going to be taking a look at that through the rest of the year.
Thank you. So to be clear, if you have the resolution in front of you, there will be the change of from 200,000, let me start again, 251,715 to $258,715, with an increase of $7,000 for 24-hour services. What this also covers is licensing of cats and dogs, writing a variety of summonses, housing the animals, handling sick and diseased animals, the impound, as well as various record keeping. 411 is a bond release resolution. It's a maintenance bond release for Lighthouse Court, LLC in Wall, New Jersey. They posted a bond, Safeguard Insurance Company maintenance bond, in the amount of $7,500 to the clerk to guarantee certain site improvements. They have met that certain site improvements through our township engineer, so they are asking that we release the bond of $7,500. Resolution 12, the tax collector, this is a state tax appeal that was granted to Frank Sarasano in the amount of $72,527.61. This is the end of the consent agenda. I'd like to call for a motion and a second.
Make a motion?
Second. Okay, motion made by Councilman Moore, seconded by Councilwoman DeYoung. At this time, I'll open to the public for questions on the resolutions. Really, no questions? Not even on the great tax buy-in brick program? I'm surprised. Okay, seeing no public questions, I'll open to the council.
I just think it's, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. Mr. Mayor, I think 4-9 is a great idea. Since I'm a coach and I'm running all over the town, I'm barely eating home nowadays. Every restaurant that I'm into, I think that's a fantastic idea. So, other than that, that's it.
Council President,
Yes.
I have a question for Mr. Pizarro on the, on 410 for the animal pound. Do we get any type of documentation on what's brought in each month?
Yes. We do receive a form that says how many animals they were sheltered for the month that were carried over from the previous month, the number of animals that they brought in, segregated into cats, dogs, and wild domestics. They also have, because they do take guinea pigs and the like, so those are listed on there as well as the animals that were adopted out. So they do give us an accounting of that, and then that number that comes to the bottom actually moves forward as the number of animals that they had to shelter moving into the next month.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Council.
Okay.
Actually, I have a question. Mr. Pizarro, could you explain exactly what is covered in that 24-hour-a-day service?
They will actually go, they have a person that's on call, and if an animal call is called in, that pager will go off and that person will answer that call. So if there's a dog and it's 12 o'clock midnight and the dog bites somebody and they don't know who the dog belongs to, they would call the animal control officer say there's this dog in my backyard or it's in this area, and that person would go, the animal control officer would be dispatched, they would go out to the site, capture the animal, then bring it back for observation, and then upon review and veterinary oversight, they would decide if that animal should be tested for rabies or not, and that's how that would go down. So normally, if you don't have that service, you basically call the police department. Police department doesn't go out and pick up that animal, but they will advise the animal control center of the next morning, and then they could go out and they attempt to find that dog. So I think it's for $7,000, that was a good service to have 24/7.
Is that only on a bite, or if?
On any call that comes in, and that person that's on call will receive that call through his pager.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from council? No? Okay. I would like to have a motion and a second.
What have that?
Did. I'm sorry, what? We did. Oh, I apologize. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Yes.
Councilman Mumalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontarero?
Yes.
Vice President Fosman?
Yes.
President Leidecker?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to the bill resolutions.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Computer bill resolution in the amount of $20,228,270.91.
Thank you. A motion and a second?
Make a motion?
Second. Okay. We'll give this motion to Councilman Fosman and seconded to Councilman Mumbalo. I would like to open this to the public. Yes, Mr. Meiser. Oh, I apologize.
Good evening. Frank Miser, 61 Topsail. You know, I've been appointed the Budget Committee Chairman 2 years previous, and I just happened to look at this computer bill coming out tonight. On page 2, All-Star Bagels. I mean, it's only $68.52, but I didn't get any of those bagels. Was there cream cheese involved? or-
They didn't have your address.
Councilwoman? Yeah, it's for the seniors.
Okay, thank you. That was easy enough.
Yeah, I believe you could qualify, Frank. Just go down to the other side.
Thanks for bringing that to my attention. If we can get out of here tonight, I can get home before my bedtime. On page 19, this might be a confidential issue, but I'm just wondering, Homes Now is our affordable housing contractor, where we get send all our affordable housing money. But now we've got a separation agreement for $29,325.83. Is that?
Page 19.
I'm sorry, did you say page 19?
19?
It's 19, yep. 3/4 of the way down, second from the bottom. Homes Now, separation agreement.
Oh, I see.
They're our affordable housing contractor. I mean, if they're running a business there, I don't understand.
We can ask Mr. Pizarros to address that.
Yes, this question was actually brought forth by one of the council members, and I explained the separation agreement refers to a separation agreement many moons ago when that used to be handled in-house. The person that handled that actually went out and started a 501c3 corporation. They got that contract, and they've been providing the affordable housing requirements for the town ever since. And those are the monies that come through the trust fund, in which case we retain 15%, and we utilize that to administer the program here. She builds the affordable housing. So what happens to this $29,325 is she puts it into investment accounts and holds on to it until a project comes along that she can assist with other funds from either grants or private foundation grants that she can obtain. And she comes to the town and refers different projects to the town. If the town is on board with that project to meet its affordable housing requirements, then we pursue that project.
Okay, that was easy enough.
Yep.
I can always count on you for good answers. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you.
It's nice to see smiling faces up there again.
Would anyone else from the public like to be heard on the bill resolutions this evening? Council members, any questions? I do have one question, although I think I know what it is. County of Ocean, Mr. Pizarros, added and omitted easements for $48,000. Is that for the dune lines?
What page is that on, Madam President?
11 on the original resolution. I have it 10. Page 10. It's on the bottom of the page. Under County of Ocean.
Near the top.
It's at the top.
Second from the top on 10.
I'm sorry, it's on the top of my page for
Yeah.
some reason. So, that is actually for, every year, the township generates added and omitted assessments for projects that were happening after the assessment list they're completed after the assessment list is signed by the assessor on January 10th. So there's a second billing cycle for added omitted assessments. And what the town does is they collect those assessments that are levied in October. They actually levy the assessments, and they're collected in November's fourth quarter payment. We then hold on to them, and then they're required to be sent over to the county in February. And that is the payment to the county for those collected taxes.
Thank you very much. Council, any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, we'll do a roll call, please.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Abstain on New Jersey Press Media, yes on everything else.
Councilman Mumalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponterero?
Yes.
Vice President Fosman?
Abstain on the MUA and yes to the rest.
President Leidecker?
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to Bill Resolution Manual 2014.
Be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Brick that the following bills be paid, and that the mayor and clerk be and are hereby authorized to draw orders on the treasurer for the amounts of the same. Manual bill resolution in the amount of $1,479,687.90.
Thank you. Motion and second.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Ponterero, seconded by Councilman Fosman. Would like to open this to the public? Seeing none. Council, any questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Moore?
Going to abstain on township payroll, and yes to the yes to the rest.
Councilwoman DeYoung?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zapsik?
Yes.
Councilman Mumalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponterero?
Yes.
Vice President Fosman?
Yes.
President Leidecker?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public comments. Please note that each person addressing the council during any section of the meeting during which public comment is permitted shall limit his or her remark to 5 minutes pursuant to Brick Township Administrative Code, Section 2-33B. Yes, Mr. Foster.
Sam Foster, 108 Chico Drive. Just a quick comment. I want to compliment, Mr. Campbell is here from the Public Works Department. I want to compliment him because I've said this before, but the snow removal has been excellent. I live across the street in Birchwood Park, and they've done a fantastic job over the years. We did have that problem years ago with the snowstorm. Was it 3 feet of snow? But they've done a great job, and I also want to compliment and thank Mayor Ducey for as a council member and the rest of the council at the time, because if people remember, there was a push to eliminate the Public Works Department at the time, and thanks to our council members at that time, we kept the Public Works Department. That the outcry from the public. So this was, it's been a relief to me to know that when I look out my window and I see 8 or 10 inches of snow, I don't have to worry about getting out onto roads or anything like that. And my problem I have is shoveling it, but fortunately my neighbor's kids bailed me out last time. So, it's been really, we have an excellent road department there, and Public Works Department, they do a great job not only with the garbage and recyclable pickup, but also in other areas as well. They've done a fantastic job, and I just wanted to, start off the meeting on. I'm glad you called me first because I want to open up the public comments with a great compliment for the township. Hear a lot about complaints about when our politicians do bad, but when you do something that's benefits the town, you should really be complimented. And Mr. Campbell's department has been fantastic over the years. And every time I've been there, a few times that I had garbage, I didn't know if they would accept that at the curb or not. I've driven to the Public Works Department to drop it off. People have always been polite there, very professional, and very helpful too. So I just want to compliment them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Slunka?
John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court, Evergreen Woods. I'm going to read my letter. Hopefully it only takes 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Dear Mayor Ducey, Council President Susan Lydecker, and all the members of the Brick Council. With a little time between the meetings, I'm sending this email, and hopefully you'll get it. Even though I'm not sure if I have all the correct addresses and email addresses, and I'm sure I don't actually. But on Wednesday, January 29th, we did have the walkthrough to view the lands in the north loop of Evergreen Woods. Due to the prior snowstorm, the area was snow covered, but the officials and representatives managed to successfully lumber through it all. It was a cold and bitter day, but those that attended did not rush. They did not complain, but they did everything they could possibly be expected to investigate the situation, make suggestions, and come up with various ideas that will be further discussed and acted upon. The state's forestry representatives, the mayor, the town's planning representatives, and some council people all showed their concern and true compassion for the citizens of the thousands of Evergreen Wood residents, and for that, the residents give your sincere gratitude. Those that were at the walkthrough got to see and hear and maybe even smell some of the problem that had befallen the residents of the area over the last 16 months. They watched the traffic of the 8-lane highway racing by and heard the sounds for themselves. At one point, half of us jumped when the truck hit its brakes. As they thought of various ideas that would alleviate some of the suffering of the people that live in the area surrounding the Garden State Parkway, they viewed the small berm in the forestation the Turnpike Authority created and realized how inadequate that gesture was on the well-being of the residents. After discussing possible alternatives, the representatives all felt they would get more information and start the process of correcting some of the ills caused by the Turnpike. The prior council members, along with the current mayor, have always been advocates of the long-suffering citizens of the area and continue to work feverishly to help them even further. Well over a year ago, many people brought to the attention of the council, and the council listened and began to try to help the residents of Brick. With the election, many of you are new to the council, and I'm pretty sure that even though you know what has been happening here at the council, let me give you a quick overview of what else has been happening for the last 16 months. Many letters and phone calls were made to the Turnpike Authority directors, but in the beginning, these pleas were just ignored. Letters from various people were sent to the NJDEP, but little was done. Calls and emails were made to the governor's office, but to no avail. Visits were made to the state senate and assembly office in Brick, but nothing was done. The Evergreen Woods Park Association asked to meet with the Turnpike representatives, and on a couple of occasions, a meeting and phone conversations did take place, but the manager could make no headway with them. A petition was started, and every council person can still sign it, as well as the Brick residents, and any Brick residents. And since you may all realize what has been happening, Evergreen Woods residents, what has happened to the residents can happen to you. The easy-to-understand petition can be accessed in various ways. I wrote in this one by typing in sound barrier wall for Evergreen into the search area of the computer, and when if the Facebook page comes up, you can see the tab, add your name to the petition, destruction of the New Jersey Garden State Parkway Community by NJTA. You could also go just to Google search destruction of the Garden State Parkway petition, or you can go put in petition.moveon.org/sign/destruction of NJ Garden. So there's various different ways. Every resident, I actually have a copy of it here that people could actually sign. And I'll put your names on as long as you sign it and put your correct address and stuff like that. Every resident should stand up against an overreaching big government agency, or this will not be a country of the people, by the people, for the people. Too often those who run the government feel they can do what they want, but the only way that will happen if we, the people, let that happen. The good news for all Brick residents is the mayor and the council have been on the side of the people and have not given up in our joint fight against the authorities' abuse of power. Thank you once again for your support, and we hope the people of Brick and all Ocean County will stand with us and eventually for themselves. It will happen to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, gentleman in the back.
Yes, my name is Tom Nerney, N-E-R-N-E-Y. I live at 685 Millbrook Road. For the last 15 years, I've been president of the Babe Ruth Cow Ripken program on the north side of town. I just want to say the same thing that the gentleman said before. Mr. Campbell, anytime I call him and the kids need something, he makes time to do it for the kids. Not only shoveling snow, those people do a lot of other things to help the community of this town. But my second thing I want to talk about tonight is Sunday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had need to call the emergency first aid or whatever. They came to my home, 2 young police officers. My wife was in great distress. She couldn't breathe. I was amazed at the compassion, the understanding, and the knowledge that these 2 young officers displayed. They calmed her down, they gave her some oxygen, and she was able not to need hospital care. And I just want the township to know that we've got some great people working for this town, and they do a great job. Let's support them in any way we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gross?
Richard Gross, 29 Greenbrier Boulevard. When you had the resolutions, I wanted to ask a question about number 10. I am constantly plagued with deer who eat me out of house and home, and I'm wondering if the Animal Control Committee could do something about the deer.
What is the problem? What are they doing? They only usually would handle wild animals if the animal is injured.
Well, what they do is, within my facility, within my house, they eat everything that's there, except the grass. And they come out in the middle of the night. They eat the trees, everything. Is there something that can be done to restrict the deer?
That would be the responsibility of the homeowner. I know there's different various sprays available at the local home
They don't
stores. Other than that, they would not handle that type of situation.
Thank you.
Sounds like the cooking's good over there.
But don't tell Vic Finelli, he might be in your front yard.
If you make some chili, Mr. Gross, I'm coming over.
Does anyone else from the public wish to be heard this evening? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go on to council comments, and I'd like to start at the mayor's table. Comments, gentlemen?
Nothing this evening, thank you, Madam President.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Thank you. Today, I joined the Township Police, Police Chief Berquist is here, in announcing the rollout of the Brick Tips 411 program. This allows people to use the internet or a free app that you can get at the iPhone App Store or Google Play to make anonymous reports to police. A lot of people, are afraid for whatever reason that they don't want to have their name on the record or a phone on a caller ID. So this is a program that tips could be anonymously made to the police department. And it's a great program, so hopefully people will take advantage of it to help us out around town. It's been a rough 2014 as far as weather. Seems like every council meeting I'm talking about snow. We've already used for the month of January 1,200 tons of salt all over our roadways. And I want to, again, thank our snow removal crews. They've been obviously working hard. And I also want to thank all the citizens for their patience and cooperation, removing your cars from the roadway and garbage and recycling cans from the roadway when appropriate. I think we have more coming tonight, which hopefully will be mostly rain, and then another big storm coming on Sunday. Mr. Campbell, I guess you'll have everybody ready again. Then a quick update on my 100-day plan, if you don't mind. Able to check off a few more. Item number 9, which is to tell us how we are doing. Survey forms available online and at township offices so residents can provide feedback and suggestions. Ed Maroney created the new citizen survey forms, and they are now available in all offices. And we're also still exploring a few options to create and submit them online. We haven't been able to perfect it yet, but we're getting closer. Secondly, number 13, which is investigate new state, federal, and private grant opportunities to supplement budget income and to expand services for BRIC. Had the opportunity to meet with the Business and Finance Committee, with Councilwoman DeYoung, Councilman Vice President Fosman, and President Leidecker. And we also met with Millennium Strategies, who is our new grantsman, and they introduced us to a number of new different grants, and also advised that they're going to be preparing a monthly report so that we can see what's coming out in the next month, what they've applied for, and where it is as far as if it's been granted or if it's still pending, and it's going to be a monthly update, so we're going to have an idea of where those grants are. And also Tara Paxton is now our in-house grant administrator, so this way we have it streamlined so that she'll be in charge of implementing each of the grants that we receive so that each department head doesn't have to worry about that they're spending it properly or they're reporting it properly. It'll go through Tara Paxton. Number 14, implement an aggressive collection process for delinquent court fees, fines, and penalties. Spoke about this earlier. There's $650,000 worth of fines that are over 1 year old, and hopefully soon we'll have a collection firm out there trying to get that money. Number 20 is hold regular meetings with the administrative staff and department and division heads to improve communication and efficiency. We've had 2 so far. We plan on having one monthly meeting, which is going to be the 4th Monday of every month at 11 o'clock, unless we have to change it every so often, but we're going to try to stick with that schedule. Number 25 is review cost effectiveness of TNR and animal control services. As you heard earlier, we have entered into a 1-year contract with that was they were looking for $308,000. We entered into a $258,000 1-year contract, and we're definitely going to be looking at other options because it still seems a little bit expensive for those services. So we're going to take a look at other options. Number 35 was the buy and brick program, which I spoke about earlier. Now we just need to get vendors on board. That's our next step. Now that the council, thank you very much for approving it tonight. And we're going to get vendors and restaurants, stores. So if you own a business out there and you want to be part of the program, please contact Ed Maroney or Councilwoman DeYoung with respect to signing up. And this way we can hopefully have it implemented and in effect before the summer, so we can all spend our outdoor meals eating somewhere that's part of the program. Number 38 is to implement online registration for recreation programs. That is currently being tested and should be up and running within the next few weeks. So this way, people don't have to come down to the recreation office. They're going to be able to do online registration and pay for the programs right there to make it easier on the residents. Number 39, expand the acceptance of credit cards in Town Hall. A special thank you to Clerk Guyana Roan for setting up in the clerk's office. They now accept credit cards, and there's no fee for the residents to use those credit cards, and they accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. Number 45, promptly post on the Township website the minutes from all Town Council, Planning Board, and Board of Adjustment meetings. The Town Council meetings are up to date, as well as the Planning Board, and the Board of Adjustment will be up there once they get approved at their next Board of Adjustment meeting. So everybody can read the minutes of all three of those meetings online at any time you want. And that is it for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Accomplishing very much. We like that. Ladies?
I would like to congratulate Irene Rafferty on her appointment as tax assessor. I have had the pleasure of working with Irene for a long time, and I know that she's going to do an awesome job.
I second that one. Thank you. Councilman Moore?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. First of all, I'd like to start off by, Tom, how is your wife? Good? Okay. Just to touch on it, yes, we do have, between our fire, our first aid, and our police, we do have some top-notch personnel. So thank you very much for that compliment. The DPW workers, I'd like to thank them for keeping up and doing an outstanding job. So men, please keep it up. There's more snow on the way. I'd also like to thank those good-looking guys who did the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. And Coach, thank you very much. Chief, congratulations to your new officers. I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job under a good man. I don't know, I'm still shell-shocked over the Super Bowl. So, as you can see, I'm wearing Denver colors. So, anyway, over the weekend I attended a volunteer EMS dinner along with my fellow council members. We did have a great time, and I'd like to congratulate the 2014 officers, and I'm sure they'll do I'm sure they'll do great. Again, a friendly reminder to everybody home, please, as a first responder, again, here comes our snow. Please make sure that your home address is visible from the street so we can see it as a first responder. Be careful shoveling. Again, please take your time. Thank you for attending tonight, and please drive carefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Dion?
I'd also like to congratulate Irene. I know you'll do a great job, and I cannot wait for your presentation on the effects of Sandy to our tax base. So looking forward to that. Also, a couple of emails that I received. The Chamber of Commerce is offering some scholarships awards to their members, their members' employees, and their children that are either qualified for continuing or post-secondary education. If anybody is interested, please contact Michelle Eventoff over at the Chamber. The phone number is 732-477-4949. Also, the Brick Morning Rotary is hosting their comedy night and chocolate tasting on February 17th at 6 o'clock at the VFW. And tickets in advance are $20. At the door, they're $25. So two good organizations that are doing lots of things for our town. I'd like to thank Mayor Ducey for putting forward the buy-in brick program, the property tax rewards. I'm really looking forward to working on the implementation of this, and if any merchants are interested, like the mayor said, contact either myself or Ed Maroney. We do have some one-sheeters just of the basic things, cost, that kind of thing. So we are interested, and we do want to make sure that our residents stay in Brick, shop locally, and then they can use the money that they spend in our town towards their property taxes. So very excited about that. And also, I'd like to thank Millennium Strategies for coming down and just letting us know about all the different grant opportunities. They have a great program that they're going to be working on. They're going to be giving us updates, like the mayor said, and they pretty much said any kind of, program or organization or anything that we are looking into doing, they're going to look and see what kind of grant opportunities that we can bring to the town so it doesn't cost our residents as much money. So I'm very much looking forward to working with them. And I would like to say thank you for everybody coming out tonight. Councilwoman?
Thank you. Tonight we had the opportunity to recognize 3 longtime township employees, and quite frankly, for me, sitting up here as the rookie, it doesn't get much better than that. I'd like to congratulate Lieutenant Gerling and Captain Dugard. I know that preparing for the promotional tests is a big commitment of time, separate and apart from their work duties. And I was absolutely blown away to hear about their volunteer service, their prior service to our country. We were truly blessed here in Brick Township to have such fine officers. I congratulate them again and their families. And congratulations to Irene Rafferty as our new tax assessor. I had the pleasure of working with Irene for many years, and tonight it was my pleasure to be able to vote in support of her appointment as our new tax assessor. Congratulations, Irene. And I also attended the Brick Volunteer EMS Dinner on Saturday, and I would like to congratulate the 2014 officers and the members for their hospitality, and I look forward to doing a ride-along one night with them. I was invited to do that, and I am truly looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Momolo?
Thank you, and I'll repeat the congratulations, Irene. Congratulations. Captain Dugard and Lieutenant Gerling, congratulations also. I'd like to thank the EMS, and last week I forgot to thank Herbertsville Fire Company for their installment dinners that we went to, which we had a great time at. Appreciate them thank them for inviting us. Also, last week, Vice President Fosman, Councilwoman DeYoung went and I visited the Visitation Relief Center on Manalocan Road. It's been 15 months since the storm, and there's still a tremendous amount of families that are in need. Their supplies are very limited down there. They're in need of dry goods, food type items, personal type items. So we're looking for the neighbors, people out there. When you're inland, Sandy seems like it's over a long time ago, but it's not for these people. They're still very much affected. So any donations that you could bring down there would be greatly appreciated. They need our help, and as neighbors, we should do that for them. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Thank you, Madam President. I want to congratulate Irene on the appointment tonight. I know you will do a fabulous job, and I look forward to your presentation next week and you educating me. I also want to give a big congratulations to both Lieutenant Gerling and to Captain Dugard. The fact that two of our officers are being recognized for promotions reflects the type of dedicated police staff that we have in our town. And we are more than lucky to have this type of devotion to the public safety of Brick, because that's one of the most important elements of keeping a town running, is keeping our residents safe. Hearing the comments made by, I'm sorry, your citizen tonight was Tom? Nerdy? I'm close, okay, you can massacre my name anytime. Reflects how much the officers in Brick are dedicated to their job. The fact that one of our citizens came out tonight just to recognize the dedication of 2 young officers for his wife shows us that what we're doing in Brick is working. It's compliments to our chief and compliments to our devoted officers. Thank you to the young men who came tonight and led us in the salute to the flag. I noticed one of them hung around almost to the very end of the meeting. So I always like when young people are involved with our government. And last, I want to thank all of you who came out tonight, and I know that it's very cold and we're due to have another bad spell of weather, but thank you all for being present tonight, and thank you for all for your support and going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Council
Thank
Vice
you,
President?
Council President. I would like sitting over there. I get to say everything. Everybody says everything by the time you get here, you know? You're repeating the same thing over and over. But congratulations to our officers. Congratulations to Irene. And I went to the First Aid Volunteers Installation Dinner. That was very nice. They were very cordial to us. And I had a very good time there with several of the council members also. We had in February, just to bring up something about the MUA, we had a reorg meeting on February 3rd. The new commissioner was there, Tom Curtis. I see him in the back there. And Jim Bayard, alternate commissioner, took their positions there. And I'd just like to, we had some phone calls and some emails about Public Works. It was raining out the last time we had, and they can't put salt down when it's raining because it'll just wash away. So what had to occur was they had to plow first, then put the salt down. And everybody, I guess some people out there were getting a little excited because it just saved the town money by not doing that. Just plowing first, then salting. So everyone got to give them a little break. They've been doing a pretty good job out there. I also went to Visitation Relief Center with Councilman Mumolo and Councilwoman Young, and went over a few of their concerns in the buildings there. And also visited Mr. Sluka, the Evergreen Woods. We went over there with the Mayor Ducey and Paul Mumolo, Councilman Mumolo were there, and we were going over various things, possible things that could come up. They also had their property management there, so we discussed quite a bit. That's all I have. I hope you have something left out of that, Council President.
No,
Thank
just
you.
add-ons. Thank you. I did attend the volunteer EMT installation dinner over the weekend. What Councilman Moore failed to mention was he got to swear in the new officers. And that's a lot of fun to do. And I did have the honor of reading the resolutions to them. It was very exciting to see our volunteers in action, get to meet them and shake their hand and say, thank you so much for your time dedication to saving the lives of people in Brick when they call for an ambulance. They're showing up, and it's just a really great thing to see that we have all of these volunteers in town, along with the Visitation Relief Center and Hope for Healing in our community. Again, another really great organization with all volunteers. It pleases me that so many of our council members go out time and time again to keep themselves updated on everything they're doing, different grants they're getting to help clean up our marshlands and our bays, making sure that our Sandy victims are fed, their houses are being rebuilt, they're getting the proper clothing for the season, their community garden and their education, trying to educate the community on how to eat properly on a low budget and things like that. They're always accepting donations of any kind. And we also have Angela here from Hope and Healing. She comes meeting after meeting to make herself available to anyone in the room that may need her counseling services. Thank you, we appreciate it. I do want to say thank you to the rec team for coming out for the pledge. It's always great to see our young people involved in government. And the fact that they stayed for most of the meeting is quite surprising. Usually people just get out of here as quickly as possible. Congratulations to our police officers that were promoted, Lieutenant Gerling and Captain Duggard. Thank you so much for all the work you do in our community and keeping us safe, and best of luck in your new positions. And of course, congratulations to Irene Rafferty. We look forward to working with you for our tax assessor. And I'm especially looking forward to our buy-in brick program. This is something our mayor's been talking about for a while now, and for him to keep his promise and bring this to our community, almost in a way of tax relief for our citizens when they decide to stay in Brick and shop at our local vendors. Thank you so much for doing that, and I'm really looking forward to getting the project off the ground. Our next meeting is February 18th at 7 o'clock, and I hope we see all of you here again. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.